Hey y'all, it's Sabrina coming to you with your Quantico review, season 1, episode 14. So let's talk. Alright, so we got the trainees, they're in the defensive driving class, and they're doing 2 rounds. One person's going to be the driver, one person is going to be basically the assistant. So you driving, they're trying to get the criminal. One going to help, you got to be on the lookout, probably shooting out the window, and the other one's going to be defensively driving, running around trying not to run into stuff, So that's what they're doing. So first we have Nima and Raina up first, and then we see a flash of Nima peeping around the corner, seeing Raina come into her room, and then she comes up to the room, and she was like, "Oh, you slept well?" And Raina was like, "Yeah, I did. Did you?" So already you can, Raina is sneaking, and Nima's not here for that. So then we have Olsen, who I call the nerdy guy. That's his name, Olsen. And him and Caleb, they're up next. So then when they flash to him, the nerdy guy, or Olsen, he overhears Caleb talking on the phone saying, this is Mark Raymond, talking in a real professional voice. And when we see him in the shower, so of course you run in the shower, you think nobody is hearing you. When we hear him in the shower, he is I like that. Ooh, I like that better. Yes. He is in the shower. He has it running, so I guess he thinks nobody hear him. But when we see him, he kind of had his hair down in his face, and then when he got off the phone call, he kind of made it messy again, like himself. So basically, he's not only changing his look when he's talking, but that kind of plays into something that comes on down the line for him. Okay. So then next, Shelby and Iris, and we flash to Shelby speaking to a contact on the phone saying there's no new info on the fake sister. And when she looks out the door, she sees Caleb, and Caleb give her straight the cold shoulder. He's not trying to hear her. He's still upset with her. Remember, he told last week, "I don't got time for you because you don't got time for me." So then Parrish and Paralysis go up next, and he mentions her missing from gym. He said, "Oh, one of my contacts told me you normally at the gym at 5 in the morning. What happened to you?" She said, "Oh, you was looking for me." So it was just basically like a little flirt they had before they went to training. And then in the car, she tells him that she thinks that Liam had something to do with his fiance. He's like, "I don't want to hear it. Going on with that foolishness." So we still got Nima all in Raina's business, and she's telling her, they're in class getting ready to get their next lesson of what they're going to be reviewing at Quantico. And Nima says to Raina, "Oh, you texting a lot. Is that your friend from New Year's Eve?" She was like, "You think I have just one friend?" And Nima was like, "I don't know anymore. Come sit by me and tell me." They are now sitting on opposite sides of the classroom, and she was like, "No, I'll stay right over here where I have been for the past couple weeks. I'm good." Put her bag down. She was like, "Shabu, anybody got time, sis trying to be nosy. Anybody got time for that?" So this week's assignment is suspect interview. So they got some original cases where the original FBI agents messed up or missed something and weren't able to get a conviction due to not asking the right questions or making the right moves in terms of the suspect at hand. So when they're going through that whole assignment thing, I don't know why Raina left that phone on that table. I never could understand it. Like, if you're doing something sneaky, why would you want to leave your phone that you're texting somebody who you don't want her to know about? But maybe she wanted her to know. I don't know. I couldn't figure that part out. But anyway. So she leaves the phone on the desk with everybody in the room, not only her sister, but everybody else in the room, and she leaves out. And so Nima goes and gets the phone and goes through it, and she sees some text messages where Raina is texting somebody saying, "Are you coming? I'm trying to come. Oh, I'm not going to be coming today. Are you still there? Text me back." So then Parrish apologizes when they come into class, she apologizes to Paralysis about being all up in his business, giving him the business about the fiance, and he's interested now. So now y'all done told you to go on about your business, but now he wants to know. So then we flip to present day, and we're in Holland, Vermont, and we are coming up on Simon Asher. So Asher's one of the old recruits from the FBI. He's actually the one who testified that against Alex as well, and they were all in the same training class. So he has a gun to his chin, and he just can't squeeze the trigger. He's getting ready to leave out. He puts the gun in his pants. He gets ready to leave out, and as he's leaving out, Alex is coming up. He said, "You're just in time for tea." So she brings him this blue box. He says, "I don't want it." She said, "I know you don't want it, but I brought it anyway." So they sit down for tea, and the conversation is real tense. And he don't got time for her at all. So he's going to go hunt. She wants to come. He was like, "I do fine on my own." She was like, "Well, I don't want to get back in my truck. I don't want to have to go back. My father taught me how to hunt. He said it was always good when it's more than one person. So he let her come on. So they go back to Quantico, and Parrish slips Paralysis the file that she got from Liam. So then Iris and Shelby are working on a team together, and they just can't get along to save their life. Like, I think both of them, very smart women, very intelligent in their both respects, and they just cannot get to the point where they can agree, because Iris is so, of course she still got, I think, that whole hierarchy mentality of being in the class ahead, and I think that Shelby's like, bitch, you don't know shit, so whatever. Anyway, so they can't get along, and on the case that they're working on, because they're working together on the team interviews, Shelby's disagreeing because you don't have a body, you don't have a DB, and you can't get a conviction without a DB, and Iris is telling her, listen, yes, you can. We got enough circumstantial evidence that makes this particular case that it's the brother who they think killed the sister. So Paralysis gives the file back to Alex, and she like, you skimmed it already? He was like, there's nothing in there that I didn't know. She said, basically she just kind of like shocked that there's no information in there that he can't use. He was like, we need human intelligence. She was like, well, I could probably get Liam to talk to me. And he was like, how? He was like, never mind. I don't even want to know. So they have the assignees handing their work from all the questioning and everything they've gone over. Caleb gets a message that a transfer has been completed for $5 million. So then we got Raina looking for Nema, like in the class or whatever they're doing, to see where she is. Because now at this point, after seeing those text messages, Nema slipped out on us. So now you basically see like a moment of transformations. We see Caleb getting dressed up and we see Nema getting dressed up. Caleb is getting dressed up as this Mark Raymond. His hair's all slick. He got on glasses. He has on a button-up shirt. He's real professional. His talk is very yes, and I can definitely assist you with that. This is Mark Raymond, and I have, would love to meet you. So when he gets dressed up, he gets on the laptop and he's talking to somebody. You know how you do like a Skype. He was like, yes, and I would love to meet you in person to bring to you that have the money that I would give to you, and da-da-da-da-da. We see Nema getting dressed up, and she's getting dressed up as Raina. So she's putting on the hijab and all that kind of stuff, putting on a little eyeliner, etc. And she goes into this house where I guess the texts were coming from when she snooped on Raina. So there's a back room in this house, and there's guns in there. So obviously there's some type of terroristic things going on in this house. So someone comes and she sneaks out. She's leaving out, and the guy's coming in, and he was like, hey, Raina. She was like, oh, he said, you leaving? She's like, yeah, leaving on out. And then as she leaves out the door, Raina actually texts the guy and was like, oh, sorry, I'm not coming today. So he kind of looked at the door real funny because the little secret room door is open. So we see the nerdy boy sneaks into where Caleb was at, where Caleb has a whole outfit, is actually in a Tupperware thing that you put a lid on, buy them at Walmart. He has the pants, the glasses, the computer, and all of that Mark Raymond stuff. And Nerdy Boy figures out that the user ID for it is Mark Raymond, and sees, basically that Caleb is pretending to be somebody else. What's up with that? So now it's time for the trainees to test their theories in cross-examinations. So Shelby wants to go first in the exercise, and Iris kind of basically blows that down. She's like, if I'm good, you ain't gonna have to go up. We flash to present time, and Miranda's wondering about this email that she got from Vasquez, Natalie, saying that she is taking an emergency leave. She's asking Ryan Booth and Nema about it. Do you talk to them? Do you know what's up? Why would she be sending that? And Nema kind of gets smart with Miranda, and Miranda was like, because Nema said something to the effect like, oh, they're probably in a basement doing, being tortured or something like that. And she said a simple no, Agent Amin, would have been sufficient or whatever. So Ryan asked Nema about that tension between her and Miranda. And she said, well, we have a difference of opinion. So he tells Nema that he's worried about Alex. She came to him the other night. He just can't get through to her. Nema says, well, maybe July caught up with her. We all had to go to therapy. We were all stressed out. She just probably hasn't dealt with what it was. So she said, I tracked my sister because she doesn't talk to her. So at this time, we now know the twins in present day are not talking to each other. And she finds Alex on this tracker in Vermont. Who does she know in Vermont? So we see Alex and Simon talking about life and how things have gone. He thought that the Bureau was going to be able to change his life in terms of him going to Quantico. He says out in these woods, he realized that there are no second chances. He still has blood on his hands from all the deaths that he's caused. He tries to shoot this deer and he misses it. And when he misses that deer, he was like, I can't even shoot on my own. I can't kill on my own, but when somebody else tells me to kill, I can kill, just like you did. You made me shoot. And then they had this like argument out this world all up in each other's face. And she was like, I didn't tell you to shoot. He was like, you told me to let go of that trigger and that everything would be all right, and it's not all right. And you sitting around here and you fine. And she said, who said I was fine? I'm not fine. I'm in trouble. And he was telling her that she told him Elias was telling the truth. It was all a cover-up. The same people that got Elias wrapped up, they got me wrapped up. They called me 2 days ago. They said, they're going to kill all my friends. That includes you. Everybody I care about is in danger. And he was like, well, is that why you came here? Did you bring them here to track me or to give me up or whatever? So she tells him that Natalie is dead, blown to pieces in front of her face. She told him, you're the only one I can trust. You know I'm innocent. He told her, I can't help you. I can't help me. I can't save you from the pain of everything that's happening. He said, in order to win, you have to not play. I'm not innocent. You're not innocent. And we never were. And he points the gun at her and is basically getting ready to shoot her. So we flash back to Quantico, and Raina is telling Raina is talking to Miranda. And at that same time, Alex slips into Liam's office. So she asks him about the exercises and how charges end up getting dropped and situations like that. And then she slides it on in. Oh, let's talk about Chicago and what happened. I never got the full story from you or Booth. Alex is so slick to the point that they don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see why now no one wanted to believe her, because even though she's a good agent, she's really good at what she do, she's very tactical in how she gets information out of people. And I think that's what caused everybody to really doubt her in that initial beginning in terms of this whole situation that's still going on in present day that nobody believes her about. So Ryan just had told her that it was a sting gone wrong and what happened. So Liam tells her basically the whole story, which the short of it is, there was a militia group that they were trying to bring down. They were all like undercover. He said we were dangling, M80s and all kinds of different high artillery at them, and they weren't biting. And he says not until they dangled these Oracle RC Panther 15s or something, obviously some very, very high-tech, probably a military gun, then the people started biting. Then they were able to get into the operation and infiltrate it. However, most criminal investigative services, police departments, FBI, CIA, there's always a mole. And so somebody on the inside informed the people, tipped them off early. So they had to bust them impromptu. And by the time they got in there, the people was gone, the guns was gone. So no one got hurt in the raid. He said no, but we weren't able to stop the gun sale. So Ryan actually lied and said it was his idea to use those Oracle RC-15 Panther guns so that Liam wouldn't lose his job. Because Liam had already had a situation, I think, in Oklahoma. He said that if they had knew he was the one with the idea, he would have been put out, as opposed to Ryan was a new agent. He just got a slap on the wrist. That wasn't a good idea. Don't do that again. So a long day and tough questions. Now we're in the courtroom. So that's what you say. It's a long day and it's tough questions. So this is from the interview process with the suspects. Now we're going to see how you will hold up in the courtroom from this. So Iris says the evidence is enough while she's on the stand. They're doing the in-class training. On the stand, she says that the evidence was enough and that they should convict. Shelby gets up there and says, no, it's not, because I think that the FBI should have still been looking for the girl, and it's not enough, and then they failed. So Miranda said, you can't go up on the stand and discredit your fellow agent on the stand. You need to have all that stuff in order before you get on the stand, before you just gonna, say what it is that you believe, especially if it's gonna go against what your agent just got up there and said, or another agent is going to get up there and say. So Paris tells Perales that the raid had no casualties, but that the Panther AR-15, that Oracle gun, was sold. Okay. That's all he needed to hear. You could see it in his face that it was on and popping, right? So after she told him that, he got on the stand, and he has an attitude because Liam was like, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God? Yes, I do. Now, do you swear to tell the truth? And then we flash to present day. So Simon's going to shoot Alex. He says, every morning I put a gun in my mouth. You ever tasted a gun? That tastes awful. But it's the only thing that feels right to me. He said, living with what happened. It's been, he's been carrying it. And now he's realizing he ain't been carrying his own guilt. He said he feel like he's been carrying Alex's guilt. She said, so is killing me going to free you? Is that what you think? So he told her to walk. She was like, no, I'm not walking. You ain't finna just kill me. I ain't just finna let you kill me. No, I'm not. She was like, basically trying to get him to understand that this is not the way that it's going to work. This is not what's to happen, etc. So he says, oh, you think I can't kill you because I didn't kill that deer? She told him, you'd have done it if you was going to kill me. If you were going to kill yourself out here, I would have found you dead, basically. And if you were going to kill me, I'd be shot by now. She told him, you want a way back into the FBI. That's what's bothering you. And I'm your way back in. Excuse me. And I'm asking for your help, and they need me. If they didn't need me, they wouldn't be continuously calling me. So I need you to help me exploit their weakness, because obviously they have a weakness if they need me. This is about justice. Don't lose sight of that, and we can do this together. So basically, she's giving him a speech to kind of pep him up, like, look, I need your help, because Simon is very, very smart. Simon is very smart on the technology. He knows, so he's going to be able to combat whatever this terrorist is doing, that they were able to see what Alex was up to in terms of her and Natalie that got Natalie blown up. I think Simon's going to be able to help her overcome that. So Ryan and Nima get up to the cabin to get Alex. They're on their way up there. And Nima's saying she's not dressed for this weather, and wherever they're going, it's even colder. She says basically now her position in the FBI, she feels like she's in the basement. And he asked her what happened between her and Miranda. And basically her and her sister were on this undercover operation. She feels like her sister got too deep involved. She went to Miranda. Miranda wanted her to leave it alone. And Nima went to the FBI, and she got mad about it because she felt like Raina told her she wasn't in love with the guy. But Nima felt that Raina may be too emotionally involved and could have given them up and compromised them being undercover. So she told him, you think Alex is crazy, but at the same time, you think she's right. So basically they're both talking to each other about their situations and then kind of opening up. We go back to Quantico, where Liam is cross-examining Perales, and Perales says, so he started asking him questions about turning suspects, basically, in order to get a conviction, and how you use bad things to turn people. And he said, oh, is that the same thing as you providing a prostitute to someone who has an affinity for that in order to get them to talk? He said, what about you in Chicago selling guns to those militia guys? He said, oh, I didn't think I had all the pieces right until now. Do I have the pieces right now? Chicago PD stops an armed robbery on the L train. The perp has an Oracle R15. The cops get him, but not before he shoots two innocent people, a teacher and this pregnant woman, which is Perales' fiance. Liam says it was a tragedy, and he says, was it because of the guns you put out there or just because it was a sad event? They go into the office and they arguing. Liam tells Perales, you're not right for the FBI. Nobody told you to join the NFL and you got the nerve to sue them. Now you're here in the FBI and it seems like you have a vendetta, against the FBI, whatever. You're a danger. We don't need you here. So then Iris is yelling at Shelby because she made them fail. Shelby's upset because there are no answers. That family's never going to get answers. We don't have a body. And then Iris proceeds to give Shelby the business. She told her not everything has a neat ending. She said, I don't know if you don't get that because your parents died or because you're white and wealthy and weak with privilege. But just like that PI from Zagreb that couldn't find what you were looking for, this training exercise is not going to fix whatever it is. And don't you ever screw up my career again. So we go back to present day, and Booth and Nema, now they pull up to the spot where Alex is, and Alex and Nema ride back, and Booth takes Alex's truck that she came up in. Nema asks about Simon and asks how he's doing. Alex is like, well, dang, I didn't even think you cared. You was gunning for him so hard at Quantico. She said, I wanted him to pay for his sins at Quantico, not for everyone else's sins, and I hope that he finds peace. And everybody is paying for Elias' sins. She tells Alex that Vasquez took leave, and Alex agrees that the Grand Central, the situation with the bombing, that it changed everybody. And Nema tells her one person that didn't change was Ryan. She tells her that you always have him no matter what, even in the darkest times. He's always there for you. Know that he cares about you. Basically, he loves you. So we go back to Quantico, and Nema tells Raina she knows that house is collecting weapons. I know you're lying, and you probably didn't even leave for New Year's. And Raina just simply said, and? She should have hit that. And? Owner. She told her, it's not what you think. I'm undercover. It's about the people who kidnapped Charlie. Miranda knows. And Raina's like, basically, I got to go fix what you messed up. So she was like, I'm going to help you since you can't help yourself. That's what Nema is telling Raina. Raina says, please go talk to Miranda first before you do anything. So Iris tells Shelby she needs to move on. Shelby does open up about her fake sister, how it's been 13 years that this lady been basically dragging her on, pretending to be her sister. Now I've lost $5 million behind you. And she just cannot understand why a person would do something so inhumane and cruel to someone, to use them for that, that amount of time just to get money out of them. And Iris explains about how when they had to leave Shanghai really quickly, or it meant death or jail, she had an aunt who loved her home and didn't want to leave, and she says that they had to leave her because it was, she either was coming with them or they were going to have to leave her, so they left. She said, but all she can remember when they left was that her aunt was smiling so big and she was so happy and how much she loved her house. And she said, I don't know what happened after then. Maybe she died. Maybe she's still alive. She may have went to jail. Maybe they got her. Maybe they didn't. She said, but do I trade actually knowing what happened for the joy or the happiness that I get out of that memory of seeing her smile? So I don't know. She said, I'll take the uncertainty. So Alice is mad because she want to know why Liam didn't apologize to Perales. He says he's a liability. Him and Alex start going back and forth. You a liability. You don't want to accept the fact of what happened between us. The only reason why you wanted to dig into the fiance was because you thought that was going to do something for you to excuse the fact that we slept together because it makes me bad. So it makes it okay for you to sleep with me. It's the same thing with Booth, and the same reason why you haven't contacted Booth. And you came here to clear up why you shot your father. All of it's for you and using other people to clear up your bad conscience. So then Nerdy Boy, or Caleb calls him Mr. Robot. So Mr. Robot comes in and approaches Caleb and tells him, I know you Mark Raymond. I know you got different social media pages, donations that you've made, a Spotify playlist, an Amazon wish list for an apartment that you live in and that Mark Raymond lives in D.C. But you live here. So Caleb got in his face so hard, literally was up on him. Like Nerdy Boy could feel his breath. And Caleb said, I don't care what you know. If you mess this up for me, you better not. Do you understand? He was like, yeah. He said, no, I need you to let me know that you understand. He was not playing. So then Miranda tells Liam, you out of here because I know you slept with the trainee. I'm not letting you put my trainees in danger. I'm the one that got to answer for you and your bad behavior. I expect your resignation in the morning. So Brandon and Raina are studying, and she's looking for Nema. And then we get a couple flashes of what's going on with people. So we see Iris look at this photo of her auntie, and I think it was herself because it was an older woman and a young girl, and she just smiles. They got Perales at the gun range just shooting, pow, 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 pow. You see Liam in his office contemplating because he done lost his job. Parrish, or Alex, goes outside and she calls Ryan, leaves him a little message, how you doing, whatever. And then we flash to present day, and Simon is in the middle of the cabin and pouring gas everywhere and sets it on fire. Now he's standing there and sets it on fire, okay? And then we flashed, oh, when we were flashing on what was going on, also we had Shelby call Caleb and tell him she apologizes. If he wants to sit down and talk, she can sit down and talk. Basically, I'm sorry for pushing you away, etc., etc., and I miss you. And so he says, I'll find you. So then this lady comes up to the table, and he says, you wired the money like you said you were going to. And she told him she took the money back from the man, which the name, it's a Hassad something. That same man, I just realized, is the same name that Nima said when she told on Raina, the reason why they're all upset. It's the same man that they've been working with. And now that I think about it, that lady that he was at the table looks very familiar. But anyway, Kayla meets with this lady. She says she took the money back from the man. He's probably never going to deal with her again. And she says to Caleb, you do what you promised? And he said, yeah, I'll do what I promised. She slides him an envelope and she says, you're going to need this. So Nerdy Boy is following and he's taking pictures. So we flash back to present day and Booth calls Alex. So Ryan calls Alex and apologize. And Alex actually apologized to him. She apologized for last night when she came to his apartment. She apologized for everything she's put him through for the past couple months. Thanked him for coming to get her and being there for her all the time. And he was like, you don't need to thank me. It actually was for me. I needed to see that you were okay with my own eyes. She told him she's not okay, but she's going to be, that she had actually made an appointment to talk to somebody with the Bureau for therapy. I just wanted your face to be the last face that I heard. And they basically, had a little moment. He was like, do you remember life before the bomb? She was like, yeah, I do. I remember everything. So they say good night. And then she gets a knock at the door, and it's Simon. So he didn't burn. So I think that Simon, being the smart that he is, probably knows whoever was following Alex was actually following her to where he was. So probably wants them to think that he burned himself. So he knocks on the door. He brings her that box, and he says, hey, I want you to hold on to this. Me going into that bank did not earn me this. I want to earn it, and I want you to hold on until I do earn it. I'm here for you. I'm going to help you. I got your back. You can count on me no matter what. You always have been able to. So she gets a call from the terrorist. He plugs something into the phone and tells her to answer the phone. Quantico is getting good, y'all, because Alice got somebody on her side now. Now, Natalie was with her, but that was only because she had a bomb strapped to her. But now we got somebody who's not deeply involved in terms of the terrorist part of it. The terrorists either knowing about them or making them involved. And now we got him helping her. And Simon is at work, too. Alex is at work. Simon is at work. And we about to really get somewhere with this, get this popping. So it's going to be good to see how he'll be able to help her kind of like combat the terrorists. So I'm real excited for this. Y'all go ahead and check that out. For those who don't have like Hulu, tvmuse.com. I'm going to put it down in the description box. tvmuse.com. There are free links on there. So even if you don't have Hulu by paying for a subscription, or you don't have someone that has Hulu who you can use their subscription, definitely you can always check out Quantico. I believe that that ABC does have it for free, but also tvmuse.com. So I'll put that down in the description box. My lunch is all the way over. I appreciate y'all watching. Please share and subscribe to the channel if you're not. Thank you to all my subscribers for watching. Please thumbs up that video. I appreciate your support. Check me out on all social medias, thickmadam730. I will see you all back for my blind spot review. It's probably going to come up later on tonight. Love ya, mean it.